What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So guys, interracial relationships are very taboo, especially in what I would consider Black American relationships, right? And I'm going to tell you because there's some duplicitous behaviors that go on that we really don't talk about a lot. And I wanted to discuss those things right now. When Black women look for Black men, and I'm saying this on average, this is not an everyday thing. Even if that lady I would consider to be a nerd, she is not, hip to the dressing or the style, things like that, unless she comes from a very elite family. Sometimes this person may be, I would say, first generation African, something like that, Nigerian American, Ghanaian American, something like that, right? And went to school, I would say, outside of Black America. That's an exception. What you will find out is that most Black men have to fit a certain stereotype for them to be noticed. And I would include, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about women who love Black men also that are in the diaspora. That includes Puerto Rican women, that includes Caribbean, it includes Dominicans, it includes anybody grew up in America, associated with the Black diaspora and Black men. There is no way you're going to be a Black nerd for the most part, and really get a whole lot of attention from the majority of sisters. It could happen that they may like you, but again, they go back and they tell your friends, and their friends will, almost certainly shoot that down. Like, girl, what are you doing with him? He's a lame. And then, that's going to stop that, for the most part. Most women are not going to go against a social program and be like, you know what, I want to date him anyway. That's not what happens. However, if Black women get a chance to date a white guy, don't get me wrong, that white Pookie version will work. If he's a white, dusty, gold tooth wearing, snag-a-tooth, pants sagging guy, they'll gladly accept that, even if they won't accept it from the Black guy. Some of them will accept that for the most part, right? But now here's something that I've looked at, and here's the dichotomy in all of this. If he's a white man that presents himself as being nerdy, into streaming, into fantasy warfare or all these things, reality games, gaming, streaming, things that Black men, golf, it's okay. Even if she's not into it, it's okay to be a white man and you're like that. And that is typically because, white people rule the world. They still do. And that culture is deemed to be successful. But a white man acting like that is okay. Not a Black man acting like that. It's never okay. Unless you're Tiger Woods, and then it's still not okay. Now, with that being said, we have this guy by the name of Fantano. He's here on YouTube, huge on YouTube. He's a music critic, over 2.75 million views. And after looking at the guy, he looks like he has at least some form of Caucasian heritage. I don't know exactly what it is, but if he's white Hispanic, I don't know. But definitely looking back at him, he looks like he's a white guy or something like that, right? No problem. Looks like he's a guy that if he was Black, he'd have a problem getting chicks. Not talking about him, not saying he's ugly or anything like that. I'm just saying just for the most part. All right. Now, with that being the case, there is a report that his Black wife has divorced him. Now, there is also a report that him and Ice Spice are reportedly dating. This is very interesting because Ice Spice is one of the hottest rappers out in the female game. And allegedly, she's the one that was turning Drake down. And she's linked to this guy. All right. Now, Ice Spice definitely has some, Caribbean or Dominican or Latina in her, but you can tell some Black is there for sure, right? But can you see Ice Spice, if this is the truth, because they're saying that she took this, guy from his Black wife, even though she already divorced him, and just 2 weeks later they're reportedly dating. So was Ice Spice already there? I'm not sure. But what is interesting is that guy, if he was black, would never have a chance with Ice Spice at all. Okay? And that is what we want to deal with today. A lot of black men, I've noticed, to get somebody as hot, and even look at Doja Cat. He just recently reviews Doja Cat. Doja Cat doesn't have to, like, if she deals with white guys, he can pretty much be a bum. He doesn't have to achieve anything. This is true. He, like, the guy could just be white. All right? Just be white. That's all you gotta be. All you gotta be is white. It's all good in the hood. Be white. Black men dealing with most hot chicks in the diaspora, bro, wear your tattoos, wear your gold teeth. I mean, because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need gold teeth, a lot of gold teeth, by the way, not just a few. You better have a Benz, sometimes felonies, arrest records. All of this is important for somebody to take you serious. All right? And if you're not that, you need to be a certain height and be whatever. But when the white guy comes across, he don't have to necessarily do the same thing that you have to do. I can promise you this, because, you know, me being over here on the continent, here in Africa, I've seen some of the most struggling white men in my life. I'm talking about, for me to call them poor is an understatement. I mean, that's how broke they are. I'm talking about big beer bellies. I'm talking about sandals. I'm talking about extremely dusty. I'm talking about everything you would think of. And you go to like the restaurants and you see like some of the hottest ladies on planet Earth with struggling Brad. I mean, Brad is struggling like crazy. And I'm talking about, like, most times she's with somebody and you look at him like, oh, I'm not so jealous that she's with him. And then some you're like, oh, shoot, stop the show. I can't really curse because my mom's listening to the stuff. So you see like, oh my God, look at the booty. And you know, you start hating to yourself like, what are you gonna do with all that? Why is that not me? I deserve that. You know, you start hating a little bit. I know I do. I be hating to myself. And you think to yourself like, this guy got ketchup stains on the shirt. I mean, you can smell him from over there. He's terrible. He's awful. Okay? Absolutely awful. Jesus Christ, he's terrible. All right? And now what you're thinking about is, shit. Oops, I cursed. Damn. Like, this guy's awful, right? And you're like, if I was this dusty as a, she would never talk to me. I gotta be able to dunk 18 basketballs at once and play point guard for the Lakers to get that same booty. And I ain't the only one that think like this. A lot of guys think like this. You guys know that it's true. You know it's true. We all know that it's true. You can lie here and say it's not true, but we know that it is true nonetheless. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Did you follow? Did you subscribe to the bell? We're out.